let's go through your quiz so we can see where you're supposed to stop your heating curves. So first of all, I already looked up the melting and boiling point of benzene and bromine. I just wrote them on here. If you need to check those with your pink sheet, just pause the video so you can check that out. Okay, so if we look at the first question, we have benzene going from 0 degrees Celsius to its boiling point. So let's start by writing 0 degrees Celsius. And it says to its boiling point, so we're going to mark down 80 degrees Celsius because that is the boiling point. At 0 degrees Celsius, our benzene would have to be a solid because it's still below the melting point. So our solid will have to warm up to the melting point, at which point it can go ahead and melt. And then as a liquid, we're going to heat up to the boiling point. At this point, you are at the boiling point, and that's all the question asks for. So you don't need another segment on here going from liquid to gas, because the question does not say you're going to let all of the liquid boil. For question 2, it tells us that bromine is beginning as a gas at 63 degrees Celsius. So label 63 degrees Celsius. And if it begins at a gas at the boiling point, it can't continue to go down as a gas because that's not allowed. So before the temperature can drop, it's going to have to condense. Once it has condensed, let's get rid of that extra mark there. Here. Once it has condensed, the liquid can start cooling down. Of course, right now it's a liquid. So if we want it to end as a solid, we're going to need to cool it down to its melting point / freezing point so that it can freeze. Again, at this point, we have a solid. At this point, all of the bromine will be a solid, and the question just says it ends as a solid. If you try to add an additional segment onto here, you have no idea what temperature you're trying to go down to. So when you go to do your calculations, you're going to have a problem because you have no idea what your final temperature for that segment is. And the reason for that is because it shouldn't be there. All right, so here to its boiling point, we've reached the boiling point, so we stop. And on this one, we have a solid here. It says ends as a solid. It doesn't say to go any further, and so we stop.